Let us discuss event handling in Java. Java use delegation event model. This concept is very simple. The components of this model are sources, events, and listeners. A source generates an event and send it to one or more listeners. The listener simply waits until it receives an event. Once an event is received, the listener processes the event and then returns. The advantage of this scheme is that the application logic that processes events is cleanly separated from the user interface logic that generates those events. The listeners must be registered with a source in order to receive an event notification. Example for sources are buttons, checkboxes, and choice, then list, menu item, scroll bar, text components, windows, etc. When you click a button, the button creates an event. When you resize a window, the window object creates an event. When you use horizontal or vertical scroll bar, it creates an event. When you click a menu item, it creates an event. An event is an object that describes a state change in a source. A source may generate more than one type of event. Let us see event classes used to define event objects. These event classes are defined in the package java.awt.event. Examples of event classes are action event, adjustment event, component event, then focus event, input event, then key event, etc. An action event is created when a button is pressed, a list item is double clicked, or a menu item is selected. A focus event is generated when a component gains or loses keyboard focus. Then adjustment event is generated when a scroll bar is manipulated. A key event is generated when you press a key. Then a mouse event is generated when the mouse is dragged, moved, or clicked, or pressed, or released. A mouse event also generated when the mouse enters or exits a component like button, text field, etc. Let us see the details of some of event classes. First, the action event class. This class has three constructors. There are some integer constants to identify the modifiers associated with an action event. Then one more integer constant, that action performed, which can be used to identify the action event. It has a method named get action command. This is very important. Assume a calculated GUI. There are many buttons on the calculated GUI. We want to recognize which button is clicked, 1, 2, 3, or 4, like that. Then we can use this method. It will return a string, and the return value will be nothing but the label or caption on that button. So using string equals, we can compare this label and identify the button. Next, let us see the key event class. A key event class object will be generated When a keyboard input occurs, that is when you press a key, it has three constant: key pressed, key released, and key typed. Then this key pressed and released are generated when any key is pressed or released, and the third one, that is key typed, occur only when a character is generated. And remember, not all key presses result in character. For example, pressing a shift key, it will not create a character input. Okay. You can recognize this sort of key using this integer constants vk underscore enter, vk underscore down, vk underscore escape, like that. And it has two constructors. You can see two functions there in this class. In this, get key character is used to get the character pressed. See, this function returns character. Next, the third component, listeners. Even listeners are responsible to receive the events occurring on a component. The listener must be registered with a component in order to receive notification about an event occurred on that component. A component may generate more than one type of event. In order to receive notification about all these events, appropriate types of listeners must be registered on the component. Event listeners are implemented as interfaces as well as adapter classes. They are defined in the package java.awt.event. Let us see event listener interfaces first. Remember interfaces. All the methods inside an interface are abstract in nature, and providing the body is the duty of the class who implements this interface. The class has to provide body to all functions mentioned in the interface. Let us see some of these interfaces which defines these listeners. The first one, the action listener interface. You know, this event occurs when you click a button, etc. So this is the simplest one. It has only one function or one method, that is avoid action performed, and the parameter to this method is action event. We know the definition of action event, we have seen it. The class who implement this action listener interface should provide body for avoid action performed method. Another one is the key listener interface. This interface has three methods: word key pressed, word key released, and word key typed. We know when all these events occur. If we use this key listener interface, we have to provide body for this three functions: word key pressed, word key released, word key typed. And this interface is used to handle keyboard inputs. Next, let us see the interface used for handling mouse. The mouse listener interface, it has five methods. mouse clicked, mouse entered, mouse exited, mouse pressed, mouse released. So a class implementing this mouse listener interface should provide body for all these methods. This is a drawback of interfaces. So we are using this adapter classes. Okay, there is an adapter class corresponding to each listen interface. The advantage of adapter classes: no need to provide body for all the methods. We will be providing the body to the method in which we are interested or we are using in our program. Consider the mouse listener interface. It has 5 methods. If we implement this interface, we have to provide body for all these 5 methods. But if you are using a mouse listener adapter class, and we are interested only in mouse pressed event, okay, we can provide body only to the function method mouse pressed. We can avoid or exclude all other 4 methods. So this mouse listener adapter is very easy to use. That is the reason we use adapter class instead of listener interfaces. Remember, there is an adapter class corresponding to each listener interface. If we wish, we can use listener interface, or we can go for adapter class. Adapter class has this advantage. Step 1. Identify the events you want to track. Step 2. Identify the event classes corresponding to the events you want to track. Step 3. Identify the listener interfaces or adapter class corresponding to the event class. Step 4. Implement the interfaces or extend the adapter class. Step 5. Write the body of methods of the interfaces or adapter class. Step 6. Register the listener with the components. Listener is the class which implements the listener interfaces or extend the adapter class. And next, let us discuss how to register an event listener. See this program. It has a frame, text field, and 2 buttons, 0 and 1. We have added this text field and these buttons to the frame. This is the program. When we click 0 and 1, and nothing happens. Okay, so let us add or register. Let us register an event listener to this buttons. See the program. See the program. We have to add an action listener to these buttons, which will track the click event on these buttons. Okay, see this B0, B1, 2 buttons. We have added these lines. Add action listener. So add action listener is the method which will help you to add an action listener to this button B0. We have added an event listener, action listener on B1 also. Okay, and what is the meaning of this keyword here. This method takes an argument, the reference to a class which implements this action listener. Okay, so here this means the class which has implemented the action listener interface. Okay, uh, so this keyword can be replaced with a class name. Okay, see another example where we will be tracking the mouse events. Okay, so here the mouse listener ex is the class implement the mouse listener. Okay, and this is the main class event handling ex. Inside this we have created an instance of mouse listener ex, or listener 1 is the reference variable, and this reference variable listener 1 is passed to this method add mouse listener method. Okay, let us come back to our program. You know this add action listener interface. See this. This is the event class action event. This is the corresponding listener. Okay, action listener. It is the interface. So this has only one method, that is action performed. This interface action listener has only one function, action performed. So we have to override this method action performed. So this is the class implement this action listener. So it is a duty of this class to override that method action performed. Okay. See the function action performed. The argument is action event. You know, action event, it is the event class, is the object. We use the function e dot get action comment. See this method returns a string, and it is the label or caption of the button on which we have clicked. Str is the string variable, so we are using str dot equals. If it is 0, we are setting tf. You know, tf is the text field. Tf is the text field. So this text field equal to 0. If we click button 0, button with caption 0, the text field will set, or it will show the text 0. If we click the button with caption 1, the text will be changed to 1. See this function executed automatically. Let us click the button 0. Now button 0 got the focus. When you click 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay. This way this event is tracked. Here, the button click event is tracked. For that, we have registered action listener interface on button B0 and B1 through the method add action listener. Okay, remember this keyword refers to the class. Okay, here this B0 and B1 is inside the class my calculator, and the same class implements action listener. That is why we were able to use this keyword here. Okay, otherwise, as in this program, we will be using object or reference variable of the class which implement this interface. Okay, here the mouse listener is implemented by the class mouse listener ex. So a reference variable to mouse listener ex is appearing in the add mouse listener method as parameter. Run this program. I'm going to click on the button. Okay, okay, now mouse exited, mouse entered, exited, mouse released, mouse moved. Okay, we didn't get this mouse moved. Okay, let us check it again. The mouse listener. Okay, let us see the methods in mouse listener. Okay, mouse moved. It is inside this mouse motion listener interface. Okay, then only you can get the output of mouse moved. Okay, so that program only implements mouse listener, so you will be getting mouse pressed, mouse click, mouse entered, mouse exited, and mouse released. Only this much. If you want to track this mouse movements, you have to implement mouse motion listener. Okay, comma mouse motion listener. Now this class implements two interfaces, mouse listener and mouse motion listener. Okay, implements mouse listener and mouse motion listener. Then we have to register this listener, listener 1. Mouse dragged, mouse dragged, let us save. Okay, mouse moved. mouse dragged, mouse moved. Okay. Let us see how to use adapter classes. Consider this program. It handles mouse events using adapter class. See, this is the class which extends the mouse adapter. Okay. We have registered mouse listener interface on my button. See my button. It is a J button. Okay, on this frame, my frame, we have added this my button. Okay. Let us run this program.